Going on to you, Libras. You have the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. A lot of you Libras are starting to learn from your mistakes. Well, not starting to, but you're understanding the depth of leaving dysfunctional people alone. Much more so specifically individuals that very much so are vain. They have a very, they seem to be very much so intertwined with vainglory or vanity. They only want to be paid attention to, looked at. Nobody can steal the show. Every time you get a chance to talk to them, they're ignoring you. This is the reason for any of you Libras who check out all my videos. You'll know that, like in the Leo video and in the Aries video, right? Like I make this funny joke about how like I'm holding up this book and how it is that, a person can be talking to a vain person, and the person is so vain, trying to play tricks and games and head games because they're head cases, right? They'll do their hardest to look at the book, do all this other type of stuff, and play like they don't see the person standing right in front of them, telling them what's up, treating them with respect, treating them with high exoneration and high exaltation and everything. And it shows you that that's not the type of person that you can consider relationship material. Not at all. That's not the kind of person that you can build a house with. That's not the kind of person that you can go into the everlasting life with, if you catch my drift. You can't do that with them, because literally they're too vain. They're so caught up with jealousy and everything else, right? And disassociativeness, that they're not going to be a very good relationship mate to you. And a lot of you Libras, this is kind of the danger a little bit when it comes to being a Libra. It's the fact that, you Libras, and I've talked about this, and we're going to start to get into this too, right? We're going to start to get into more reasons as to why being a Libra is such a heavy card. Is because Libra represents the law. Libra, y'all represent the law. You represent the universal balance. You represent evening the score, right? Be avenging, not revenge, but avenge. Avenge, which is to set things correct, set things right, to put things on its proper course. So now when a Libra is off balanced and things aren't fair, right? Things aren't on its rightful course, right? Things don't have its proper weight. What happens, right? The Libra, y'all can be just as like cutthroat, so to speak, as a Capricorn can be, right? As an Aquarius can be. And like I said before, being a Libra, it's a heavy card, because the Three of Pentacles in the world right here represents how it's your job, it's your duty to become a partner. See, this is what I'm trying to say, right? All the air signs are dualistic signs. They are relationship orientated signs. The air signs, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, literally represent what it looks like to be in a relationship with a significant other. And if you're doing it correctly, how the relationship, or some of the signs that the relationship is actually functioning well and it's doing its job. The Three of Pentacles and the world right here speaks to how you Libras, you're supposed to be in a functional relationship. This is why a lot of you Libras are so relationship orientated, because like I've been talking about for about 2 years now, being a Libra is a heavy card. Y'all are supposed to demonstrate what being in a relationship looks like. The air signs, basically. Y'all are supposed to demonstrate what being in a relationship is supposed to look like. You're supposed to find a good, viable option, good, viable, significant other, be in a relationship with them, right? Be in a commitment with them, and lead the way in love and lead the way in that relationship. This is the reason why a lot of you Libras, when y'all are single, y'all want to be in a y'all always want to be in a relationship. I bet you didn't know that I knew that. I told y'all, some of my best friends in high school, they all were Libras. I've been telling y'all this. That's why I'm like, yo, like, who do these people think I am? I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I could name it. Raymond. I'm not going to say his last name, but Raymond, Leones, they were Libras. Leones was Dominican. Raymond was so-called black or whatever, right? Or Asiatic, more accurately, right? But like I said before, these is Libras. You dig what I'm saying? These is Libras, if I'm not mistaken about the Raymond thing. But I know Leonis for a fact was a Libra because I asked them. Okay, I know these individuals. So why that's important in the first place is because of the fact that you're not gonna find this. Let me just be more direct with you. You're not gonna find this with you bumping your head up against the wall, metaphorically speaking, trying to appease these dysfunctional people. You Libras, y'all are getting it wrong. You Libras are trying to appease individuals that are not going to essentially give you that relationship, but they're caught up in disassociativeness and their own vanity and whatever else comes from that vanity. You know, all this stuff, all the games go back to vanity. All the games go back to vanity. It goes back to, right, being vain. It goes back to, you know, the ideology of like helplessness and hear me roar. I'm powerful now, and I'm never going to go back to being someone's, you know, to be on someone's a metaphorical chopping block and all of that. All of that is vanity. But all of that also represents being very much so disempowered at a very young age, or whatever age they are, but being so disempowered to the point where it affected them deeply. It really fractured their psyche. This is why I've been telling you Libras, that the people who are vain, who be treating you the worst, they actually secretly in love with you. And a lot of you be thinking, well, I'm this, but this person is the same thing as me. That can't be. And it's like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, fam. Like, we're in 2024. Come on. We're in the age of Aquarius. Don't front like you Libras don't know what time it is. Come on now. It don't matter if they were born with my anatomy, if you catch my drift, or they were born with the other side's anatomy. No matter which one it is, if they disliking you and if they that upset with you with no reason, 10 chances to 1 they secretly in love with you. But they have to make you an enemy because I can't feel helpless. So why that's important in the first place is because you Libras, you're not going to find a significant other messing around with these people that you trying so hard to appease. You're just going to get frustrated, and it's going to get on your nerves. The 9 of Cups and the 5 of Wands represents how you have to separate yourself from anybody in your life right now. Because see, let me slow down. You have to separate yourself from anybody in your life right now who is causing you unnecessary stress. Because what's going on here is you Libras got yourselves away from the crazy ex. Good stuff. But the problem that you Libras are having now that we went ahead and doubled back, is you forgot about all the people that have been in your life for a while now that gave you trouble. But the most dangerous person at the time was or I should say one of the most dangerous people to you Libras at the time, I want to say 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 months ago, right? Since February, was your significant other. Now that you Libras got rid of your significant others, right? Your troublesome significant others, and now y'all are out here by yourselves. Now it's a situation where you have to go ahead and handle. What about your nonsensical friends? What about, the people that you interact with, to try to see if there could be any kind of like potential romantically with them, and come to find out that it's not, because they're broken or vain or whatever. Whatever it is, whatever cause, what then? And so now what's happening here is you have, again, 5 of Wands, 4 of Wands, which is you're having a hard time because of it. Because now it's like, well, what are you Libras going to do? What are you Libras actually going to do? Because now you're in a position where, you're supposed to be evolving spiritually, where you're supposed to have that promise, that soul tie, that relationship with yourself, where now you communicated with yourself. You're not going to go through these dysfunctional relationships. And yet you Libras are starting to find yourselves doing that a little bit with even the people that you may hold near and dear, a little bit. So now it's a sense of, well, do you want this? Do you want this to be your future? You have these people around, but they always gonna pop off. They always gonna buck. They always gonna do something off the wall to show you, you know what I'm saying? Something is gonna like reactivate that vanity, that you can't be. These are people who have problems with ego. These are people who have a serious problem accepting no. These are people who have a serious problem being wrong. Like these people, like that's a crazy person. That's a, you know what I'm saying? Like a crazy person is capable of anything, great and terrible things. You can't count on a crazy person to not be like pow wow wow. Are you crazy? It's not gonna work. So the thing is that, or do you want it like this, where you actually have a peaceful home, and a peaceful life? Well, in order for you, and Libra rules peace. See, being a Libra is a heavy card, because we're living in a chaotic world. It's up to the Libras to make peace. People take the principle of Libra. They use the principle of Libra when it comes to creating peace for their life. So it's going to look real hypocritical for you Libras to want peace and love and all this other type of stuff, which is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But what is wrong with that situation is, but then you trying to convince like crazy individuals to like calm down or some goofy stuff like that. That's not going to go. It's not going to go. So the Hierophant and the 5 of Cups represents, well, what is going to go? Well, you Libras have to continue to develop, because there's still some things about you where, there's still some chinks in your armor. There's still some inconsistencies and weaknesses that you Libras have. You Libras like to gain the validation of other. You said you want the truth. You Libras like to gain deep down inside the validation of other people too much. And there's nothing wrong with gaining the validation of other people. But you have to shrink it down to a certain size. It can't become grandiose. It can't become out of control where you need help reining that in. You dig? You have to try your hardest to not allow it, to not sit there and allow it to actually get to that point. You have to still be able to shrink that and have it just sit in the palm of your hand. Don't allow it to be so crazy to the point where it goes from like, you know what I'm saying? Like it goes from the Dragon Zord toy and as big or small as this, depending on your perspective, to now like 500-foot dragon. You know what I'm saying? With the appetite to match. You can't do that, because then that's dangerous for you, for everyone involved. And the thing is that, so you have to gain more spiritual insight. And for you Libras, the 5 of Cups represents, you have to learn, like I said, to let go said ego, your vanity, You know, the idea that you need to be validated. You know, sometimes the things that you're doing is right. It's not going to be validated by anyone in the world. And you are going to have to actually draw that line and accept that for what it is. So let's clarify the Five of Cups. Overall, this is a very good teaching lessons for you Libras, because you Libras just have some things that you got to essentially work on, because, you know, people are taking advantage of you and using their own vanity and projecting that onto you. You know, you are trying to really inflict that kind of, and I hope YouTube don't hit me for this, but inflict that kind of damage onto you. So you Libras have to really be in a position spiritually, mentally, soul wise, where you understand that if a person doesn't, if a person, if you know what I'm saying, like if a person is bucking in your life, you have to allow them to buck, but not in your life. This is again part of the reason why I've been saying for years now, right? When I first started to say it, I don't hold on to anything or to anyone too tightly. When I was saying that, people was you had goofy individuals, right? Water off my back, but you had goofy individuals trying to make it seem like I'm just trying to sound cool. It's like, no, I learned that philosophy from pain, from strife, from hardships, from, you know what I'm saying, you know, cold nights of patience, from fear. I experienced fear at one point. You know what I'm saying? Experiencing fear many times through. I don't experience fear like that anymore, really, ever anymore. I haven't experienced fear in a long time, actually. But I'll say, I don't even want to lie, I haven't experienced fear like that. I haven't really experienced fear in about 10 plus years, maybe. I haven't really experienced that. But point that I'm trying to make here with that is, and that's how I came to that philosophy myself, talking to people, doing the same stuff that you Libras is doing, talking to people, trying to get to know people romantically, you know, having things literally never going my way. Yeah, I could get my foot in the door as far as talk to them, but their vanity and my vanity thinking that I can change these people, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work. So, and then not only that, but trying to make it into a, because I always wanted a relationship, but trying to make it into like a functional relationship and all of that. And it's not even meant to be that, because the person ain't even really planning on sticking around like that. So now, you know, their vanity activates, right? They played house for a little while. They vanity activates. And then the next thing that I know, right, I'm short a significant other. I'm out one significant other, -1, right? The next thing I know, when I try to get them back, the more they fighting spiritually to not come back, not be my wife, not be my, you know what I'm saying, not be my wifey type, not be my significant. So what did I had to learn to do? What am I going to do, right? What a truth be told, let's really ask the question. If I do something, it's extreme. If I go and do something, if I seriously go and do something, what am I going to do? Put my hands on somebody? Nah. So, and then the pain hurts from the heartbreak. So what do? I learned from experience that, yo, cheating on me, I've never cheated. But the cheating that I'm referring to is from them to me. Finding out they cheating on me, smashing my enemies. You know what I mean? Finding out that they smash my enemies, allowing themselves to be used like pawns and all that other type of stuff. And you know what I'm saying? It's still caught up with their own vanity and everything like that. It got to a point with me where it became so like it became so painstaking, to the point where I was just like, yo, I can't force people to do anything that they legitimately don't really want to do. I literally can't force people to do something that they legitimately don't want to freaking do, because I can't. They play too much games. They too caught up with being like pranksters and like mind games and jokesters and being idiots and being stupid and being slow and all this. Like they too caught up with practical jokes. They too involved with like getting on the internet and like saying off the wall, mentally ill, crazy. Like you can't build a relationship with somebody like that. You got to accept it for what it is, and then accept it within yourself that you cared about this person. You'll always care about this person. You learn from your mistakes, understand what you've learned, what you could have did better, what you did well. Learn from those things and move forward. You can't be all of that alpha and all that crap. This is how it is that I know that these people are selling nothing but straight up and down lies. Control this one with, and I know I'm going on, but I'm giving y'all the game for real. Control this one with that. Control this one, with this, and control this with that. It's like, yo, that's hogwash, because that in actual factual application, I know it to be true, is incorrect. Because number one, you're not even going to be thinking about that type of nonsense when you're in the heat of the moment. Most times, that's something that you have to train yourself, like routine, in order to do. You have to mentally and physically and spiritually become okay with receiving conflict, being in conflict. Most people on earth, truth be told, scared of conflict. Let me tell you something. If a long distance hole puncher is pointed at them, they gonna freeze. They not gonna be able to talk. They not gonna be able to take action. Most people would freeze. I've had 2 to 3 long distance hole punches aimed at me, if you know what I mean, and I didn't freeze. So it's like most, are you really built for that? In the real world, in truth be told. So let's clarify the 5 of Cups. It's like your best bet is to let these people go. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to make this YouTube channel grow. Please subscribe. You know, my stuff is starting to get stagnated now, so please subscribe. Let's continue to grow. You have the Justice, which is Libra, 3 of Cups, 4 of Cups. Then you have the 10 of Pentacles, and then you Libras have the Moon. The Justice and the 3 of Cups is about how when you leave this person alone, when you work that out with yourself spiritually and you leave these people alone, what's going to happen with you is that they are going to try to come back to you and make it seem, or like that's not what it is, or you Libras are going to want to feel like you want to go back. Don't. Because the 4 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles, and the Moon, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to be stagnant.